Welcome to another edition of Jet Setting. It's Ken Wiebe, Scott Billick, both with the Winnipeg Sun. Kenny, Jets are coming back home, coming off now a heartbreaking loss, 5-4 to the San Jose Sharks, where they lose with 5 seconds remaining in the game on just a goal that kind of just came out of nowhere. I mean, what kind of happened on that goal, and what went wrong for the Jets there when it seemed like they at least had 1 point in the bag?
Yeah, you know what, Scott? Jets had a really good third period, especially the second half of the period where they really pressed for the equalizer. Matthew Perreault scoring again. The fourth line has been getting a lot of production lately. Scores with 3:38 left. Jets think they've rallied for at least 1 point, and then they get a little bit aggressive in the waning seconds. Nikolai Ehlers with a very creative zone entry, but sort of maybe forced a pass to Andrew Kopp. He was open momentarily, but it was also a good defensive effort. Marc-Edouard Vlasic had an excellent game. He intercepts the play. The Sharks go back the other way, 2-on-1. Tyler Myers is caught up ice. Timo Meier makes an absolutely fantastic pass to the back door, feathers a pass on the stick of Joe Pavelski, and he provides a second game winner in as many games against the Jets to help the Sharks win the season series. Jets were a little bit sloppy defensively at times. I thought Nathan Beaulieu was in the vicinity of Marcus Sorensen on the go-ahead goal early in the third, but Jets weren't great defensively, and Connor Hellebuyck was not at his best and was not able to bail them out. So Jets probably didn't play their best, but anytime you score 4 goals against a team like the Sharks, who've been one of the best teams and hottest teams in the NHL, there's a lot to like about their offensive game, but defensively they needed to be a little tighter.
Yeah, I mean, tough starts to the homestand, of course, and a difficult homestand with Boston, with San Jose coming in, and then when they get to the weekend, another tough game. What do the Jets need to do to kind of flush this one quickly? Because they have another game in 2 nights against Boston, who's a top team in the East, and playing lights out basically.
Yeah, the Jets' schedule has been challenging during the last stretch, and Tyler Myers said they'd like that tough schedule playing against the top teams. You'd get a good measuring stick about where you're at. Ben Sherrod called it a kick to the groin, but said you basically have to flush it and wash it away and go to the next game. Jets know they're having another stiff competition here to create throughout the homestand, and they know what they need to do. I mean, we talked about it during the game. The Jets were a very sound defensive team up until the All-Star break, 4th in the NHL in terms of goals against. They're 3rd worst since January 22nd, and that's an area where they know if they want to go on a playoff run, they need to be better in their defensive zone. That means better coverage, that means better puck management, and at times it'll mean better goaltending. I mean, the Jets have a lot of faith in Connor Hellebuyck. He has shown signs of being in more of a rhythm lately, but wasn't as sharp against the Sharks, and he'll look to probably bounce back either against Boston or Calgary on the weekend.
Those goals against, you talk about Josh Morrissey not being there. You talk about Dustin Byfuglien not being in the lineup. Maybe even Joe Morrow, who's a guy that's been in the lineup for quite a bit. How much are those injuries kind of impacting this 3rd worst goals against since basically the All-Star break or the Jets' 5-day break that they had? And when might we start to see some of these guys come back to the lineup?
We know the injuries are a factor. It's not an excuse. Injuries are a part of the game at the NHL level, but when you're taking out 2 players who play 22 to 25 minutes a night, it's tough to eat up those minutes, even though the Jets have got a lot of good minutes out of Nathan Beaulieu. And having Sami Niku up, it's been a good opportunity for him to gain experience. But they're missing Byfuglien and Morrissey both right now. Palmer's telling us today that Byfuglien hasn't been skating as much lately because he can't really push off on that ankle. So he's been doing a lot of work in the weight room, but the Jets probably won't have Byfuglien back for at least another couple of weeks. Morrissey not expected back until April. Maurice has been on record as saying it's like making 2 big trades at the deadline when they get those 2 guys back. But in the meantime, the Jets defense corps and the team as a whole will have to be better in their own zone.
For sure, Kenny, and the Jets now have to turn the page to Boston now, another tough game. So see if they can bounce back on Thursday. Thanks for watching, guys. Another edition of Jet Setting for Ken Wiebe, Scott Billick.